South Dakota has a new state record walleye. People are already out ice fishing? And what the heck is a Calico smallmouth? We got that and more coming up right now in Target Walleye's Top 5 presented by Seafoam. Let's dive on in. South Dakota has an official new state record walleye, and it is an absolute unit. Get a wide load of that fish. Aaron Shuck caught that 16-pound, 8-ounce freak in nature last Friday on Lake Oahe, a Missouri River impoundment around Akaska, South Dakota. It was 33 inches long with a 21-inch girth.
What? That's a big fish.
So in case you need some help getting your bearings as to just how massive that fish is, here's another perspective of it in the live well next to some normal eater-sized fish. Sheesh. Aaron caught that bruiser trolling what's called the McGannon Special Color Walleye Nation's Creations Reaper, a crankbait that has really taken off these last couple years, and as you can see, it's got a little bit wider profile. Most stick baits are narrower, skinnier, but a lot of these big fish are eating things called lake herring or tullibees or ciscos or shad, depending where you're at, that have that taller, broader profile. So a lot of folks are buying that it gets them more bites and bigger bites, and now it has a state record to its name too. Now Aaron said that they were running down a steep channel edge. The boat was in about 40 feet of water, and it bit on the shallower side of the boat. They had that bait on lead core, 187 feet back, going a little bit slower, about 1.5 miles per hour in the cold water, and it's estimated that that bait was running around 30 to 35 feet down. And the rest is history. Record book style history. But actually there's a whole lot more to the story that's really cool. If you search Chasin' Walter on Facebook, you'll see they did a Facebook Live last night with Aaron to get the full story on that record catch. And it was a pretty wild one. I definitely recommend looking it up. Big, big, big congrats on the fish of an absolute lifetime, fellas. What dreams are made of. While you were out mowing your lawn, people were finding fishable ice in October. And they were nowhere near Santa Claus, and heck, I'm not even counting Alaska because that's cheating too. They've been ice fishing there for a while already. But I'm talking in the lower 48. I believe Scott Olson was fishing a high elevation Black Hills, South Dakota gem when he was catching these rainbow trout in October. Not even fair. I also want to point out and say thank you to Scott for wearing those ice picks around his neck. It's probably the cheapest insurance you can get as an ice fisherman, especially early in the season and late in the season, because if something ever goes south, like if you go south into the drink without those ice picks and being able to claw your way back on top of the ice, it can be nearly impossible. So props Scott for rocking safety first and showing it on social media. And I believe that's also Ice Armor's new Delta float suit that he's wearing. It's buoyant. It will help you to get back out if you fall in versus weighing you down and pulling you down. What more does a guy need to say? By the way, Scott's not the only one hitting the hard stuff. Some of our friends up there in America's Hat, Canada, the fishing geeks, Adam and Sean Conrad, took a little road trip, and I believe it was October 28th, they were laying the smackdown on some massive brook trout. Those things have shoulders. I believe they were fishing with Barry Butler, who, as you can see, also caught some quality fish, and they posted a YouTube video on Frostbite's channel whacking and stacking them. Pretty jealous. Also, not sure that I'm ready to give away to the open water season yet, but the Iceman cometh. It'll be here soon if you're not already on the ice, but be safe this season, everyone, please. Speaking of ice fishing, this one almost counts. I saw this post by Wade Jones Sr. on Facebook, who saw this feller out on Manitoba's Red River last week chasing walleyes. Some folks in the comments were quick to chirp at this guy, lighting him up for his ingenuity to be on the water when you were probably home on the couch But Monteo Machado came to his own defense in the comments section and said, "We had a better day than the rest of you," and he had the greenback walleye pick to prove it. And I've also got to say that Monteo is just the perfect amount of petty, because he went back out a week later, went back out in his contraption, whacked some big fish again, and returned to the comments section for a little more video proof. Nicely played, man. I've seen a ton of really great fishing-related Halloween costumes over the years. Anything and everything that you could ever imagine. And oddly enough, my favorite one I saw this year, my favorite fishing-inspired costume, but it wasn't necessarily a fishing costume. Let me explain. Ryan Buddy is a decorated walleye tournament pro who legit has more hardware than Ace. So he didn't have to go onto Amazon to order a big fake check to absolutely nail this Happy Gilmore costume. He just grabbed a stack of big boy checks from the Lake Erie Walleye Trail and went to town, which has to be the biggest flex I have ever seen. Ryan, you absolutely won Halloween props, man. I'm going to send this off with one of the most unique freshwater fish catches I have ever seen, and it happened right in my backyard. This is what some folks are calling a Calico smallmouth bass. It was caught just the other week by Linder Media's Gary McAnally near central Minnesota or Brainerd, Minnesota. The orange coloration is just phenomenal. I cannot imagine seeing that thing in person or that feeling when it hit the net. Like, what is even going on? Calico, though, like the cats, it looks more brindle to me, but whatever you want to call it, absolutely amazing specimen. That wraps up this week's Top 5. A big shout out to Seafoam for keeping us running smooth and making this video series possible. Now, if you want more walleye and ice fishing related content like this, sign up for our free Target Walleye emails at targetwalleye.com, and I'll see you back in 7.